Hello and welcome back to the Red Barons Gaming YT. Today we will be taking a look at two aircraft, the MiG-19 PT. Seen here, we'll be looking at the X-ray and the armor and the stats basically of this thing. Here's the modifications. I'm still grinding it out. And the other one will be the MiG-21 F-13, newest addition to the supersonic planes. I was going to say tech tree, but it's not a separate tech tree. It's just part of the normal one. But planes, supersonic planes, and both are highly debated right now of which one's better. A lot of people say the MiG-19. I'm going to disclose that at the end of the video, which one I feel is my favorite. But here's the armor right now. It's just got the average, got some front and some back, and the bulletproof glass in front of the pilot. It has a radar dome. Has these two N30R cannons, oil coolers on top of these massive tube engines, and a split fuel tank, and the radar mod. The S version of this that is in the German tree does not have the radar. It's got these massive engines, Kilmovs, or no, the Kills, or I don't even know how to pronounce that. Those engines. And it has the R-35 missiles ×2, and I take ground targets and sim battle. I just wanted to do it in sim battle just to kind of show off. So here you are looking at the beautiful scenery. I do have the Argentinian roundels on the exterior. They don't really add anything, just aesthetic in my opinion. I just like it. Falklands War. And a blue dragon. Here's the cockpit. Stick. Cockpit. So let's start up the engines and get this baby rolling. There we go. Big puffs of black exhaust that comes out the back. That's another thing. These are very powerful jets. They get moving very quickly, so shut that. And let's start the engine. As you can hear them idling up. There's the afterburners. Let's take those down and accelerate to the full. I believe the thing can go like Mach 1.1. Takeoff speed is around, I don't know, I'd say close to probably 150 knots. I do generally about. As you can see, we're just passing 150. There you go, past that. I just wanted to keep it on the ground a little bit longer, just so I don't tail strike, and up she comes. So a little bit of history about this. It came out in, I believe it was the 50s and 60s era. And it was basically designed to replace the MiG-15 and MiG-17s that the communist nations of like China and Soviet Union, Poland, etc. All those nations, Soviet Union, Vietnam used these during the Vietnam War. I believe they used the S version though, the 3-cannon version that does not have radar or the air-to-air missiles, and it was used as a high-altitude interceptor of B-52s and other bombers. It's not a very good fighter, I'll put it that way. MiGs generally do pretty poorly in the dogfight area. As you can see, like, the ammo is gone before the guns even have time to jam, which is a plus but a bad thing because it goes through ammo very, very quickly, but they're very, very high velocity. So basically, if you're within, I'd say 0.4 to 0.2 kilometers, you should basically be able to point and click and within a few bursts destroy the target that is in your sight, usually a bomber, because if the thing is moving around, you're just wasting ammo. I mean, there are people who do a very good job at dogfighting in these, but I prefer to go after bombers when I get the chance, or ground targets, even if I carry the ground target missiles or bomb loadout. That's just me personally. But the interior and, well, the exterior share a lot in common with the MiG 5 or MiG 17 and MiG 15, the Fago and Faggot, not Fago, Faggot, and the Frescos. Uh, do a nice turn here, and it does have the radar, as you can see. So I'm actually trying to locate that old plane that flies around during test flight mode of War Thunder, but I'm not quite seeing it. So look back a bit. Yeah. So it was designed for the super. It was, I believe, one of the actual first supersonic Soviet jet fighters. Basically, I mean the um, MiG 17 can go supersonic. It's not a straight line supersonic fighter like this thing where you put the throttle to full and fly in a straight line and you will break the sound barrier. No, this thing just kind of ends up outrunning the MiG 17 after a ways, actually very quickly. Um, I believe the MiG 17 though will get off the ground faster than the MiG 19, but really we're comparing the MiG 19 with the MiG 21, so I should probably be comparing it to that. Both are pretty good in the acceleration department with their massive engines. You can see it is trying to stall out right now. At slow speeds, MiGs do not perform well. You're looking at probably between 275 and 350 is probably your ideal performance. Uh, so yes, I will meet you guys back here when I do the landing because I don't think you guys just want to see me flying around all day. So I will show the landing and explain that as best I can. I'm not very good in sim, but if it was RB, I could show you better. But I wanted to do sim today as something to switch it up a bit. So I will meet you guys back when I see the landing. So yeah. Okay, so now that we are back, we will be doing the landing, and as you can see, I'm about a little percent throttle, and I'm going about 250 knots right now. Drop the gear about, you can probably do about, I don't know, about there, 240 below, good. Flaps, combat, and then to landing. I was going a little fast here, so I decided to cannon brake by using the very powerful recoil of those guns to slow me down a bit. So you point the nose up. I've got 3% throttle. We're coming in a little hot, but this is going to be bumpy, and we're down. And brake, deploy the chute, all that good stuff. And that is a very bad landing. I start messing up on the rudder bit there, so see me just kind of careen off to the left and then careen back to the right. But it all is in the name of slowing down, I guess. I guess that was the whole idea all along, is to slow down. So just drop that off and come to a nice stop. Gonna have to turn off here, I guess, get off the runway. It's always nice and polite to get off the runway so someone doesn't go through you. So open the canopy here, shut the engines off, brake, and yeah, that was the MiG-19 in a nutshell. It's a very good aircraft to fly in sim, in my opinion. Pretty easy to land. It's a lot easier to land than the MiG-21, as you'll see. But yeah, let's move on. So here's the MiG-21 F-13 fishbed. It's a basically almost armored the same, except it doesn't have the front armor, basically because it's basically a missile with wings and a pilot. Basically, it's a controllable missile, like the engine, and it's basically all fuel and engine. That's about all this thing amounts to. Which you'll see why it makes landing very, very difficult. Note how short the wings are, and then, well, we all know how lift works. Um, Basically, you go positive, negative forces on top and bottom. You go up, basically, depending on speed and wing surface area. So this thing has to be going very, very fast to get off the ground, as you will see. Take the missiles, air target belts. It is armed with only 60 rounds in one, I believe it's 37 or 23 millimeter can, one of those two, but it only has one of those with 60 rounds. Here's the external view, and there's the spool up. Hit the web. You can see the massive afterburner. Let's do that again. There we go. This is going to be a blooper, actually. I'll just let this play out, and I'm not really going to talk over it because you'll see what happens when I hit about 90 kilometers per hour. Okay, so as you guys could see, the chute was deployed, the drag chute. So let's not do that this time. Let's throttle all the way up, spool up the engines, disengage the braking system, and we're off. And no chute this time. So that's a plus. As you can see, we're accelerating far past what we were before. I mean, you probably could take off at 90 knots, but I wouldn't suggest it. You best get well past like 190 or so. 150, there we go. Start pulling back. 180, 190, and 200, and we're off. Yes, it needs a very, very long run up to get up to speed, although it does get up there pretty very fast because of that massive engine. Roll. And it's pretty not nimble. Thing goes fast in a straight line, but as soon as you start to turn, your speed goes out the window very, very quickly, and you end up getting caught off guard. Although that can be good when you're fighting F4C Phantoms, when this thing does a thing where it knife edges almost, like because of the design of the wings, like you turn and you immediately like almost skid. I can't really show that because I'd probably stall out and fall out, but you yank the stick hard to either left or right or up or down. Well, not really down, that's negative G's, but you yank the stick and you turn very, very quickly, basically. Well, you don't turn, but you stop very, very quickly. There we go. You can launch missiles at the sun. Basically, the heat-seeking missiles fire at the sun. Pull up a little more, and there goes the next one. So that's all the missiles. So, yeah, but it flies very nice. You can see there go the 60 rounds very, very quickly. You can see the up and down of the elevator through that little peephole as I look behind myself. Here, I'm gonna go supersonic now, or try to anyway. This is called straight line supersonic, basically. I'm 0.7 Mach, 0.78. With the nose at the ground. And there we go. There's the cone. Now let's slow down and I will join you guys again when I land. Okay, so I will see you then. Okay, so here we are back at the landing. As you can see, I'm about 211 knots. We're dropping the gear, we're dropping the air brakes, and we're dropping out of the sky very, very quickly. Point the nose up at the sky. This is not going to be the best landing. I end up smacking the tail pretty hard on the ground and killing the engine, but I mean, at least the plane doesn't fall apart. I mean, you can see I'm like 166 and I'm just falling out of the sky. Hit the ground at 78% throttle, drop the throttle all the way, and hit the ground. Do what I like to call the 500-foot smackdown. You basically fall out of the sky above the runway. And so you can see the chute deployed, and I slow down very, very quickly. So, I mean, it's difficult to land. Pop the canopy open just because it looks cool the way it opens forward. Pull off to the runway again. And be courteous to anyone else landing. So that was the MiG-21 in a flight test. So yes, I will see you guys in dogfight testing. Okay, so first up for dogfighting will be the MiG-19. As I said before, it is armed with the two R-35 air-to-air heat-seeking rockets, same as the MiG-21, but this one has two, what is it called, 23mm cannons. As you can see, I didn't hit squat going through that furball, and I'm pretty much almost out of ammo. I only have 140 rounds. Missiles are still there, and now it's the game of trying to find targets, and blacking out is a very common occurrence with this aircraft, and overspeeding is a very common occurrence with this aircraft. It's very, very difficult to get on target as a parachute with this aircraft. So, see, blackouts again. So, I mean, all in all, I don't consider it very good at dogfighting, but I mentioned that in the beginning of the video where you should be basically hunting bombers with it. Same with all the MiGs, MiG-15, MiG-17, MiG-19, MiG-21. All those are bomber hunters. They were designed to get up to altitude very quickly, be very fast in a straight line, carry heavy armaments, blow shit out of the sky, and that's about it. They were not designed to turn fight with planes like this. I mean, as you see, like, they black out too quickly. Like, if the thing's flying in a straight line, you can buzz in, blow them out of the sky, and continue going in a straight line before anyone has been the wiser. So that is just my opinion on this aircraft. So yeah, let's take a look at the MiG-21 now. Okay, so now looking at the MiG-21, we're coming up on some targets, and it's a little bit shaky, but not too bad. So come up, wasn't able to get the lead on that guy or that guy, so pull vertical. But as you can see, the speed control is a little bit easier with this thing. Although landing, it's difficult for me. I can land the MiG-19 better than the 21, but I can dogfight better in the 21 than the 19. But then again, these are bombers, and they are flying in a straight line. So yes. Get the missile going, I believe I have it. Fire, I don't even know where that was heading. And try to line up on this one. He went up a bit, so I kind of ended up not being able to get there. Got my ammo back, and blew something off. Missed. Pull up again. Oops, compression. Hit him. And try to get on target, but not able to. A little bit compressibility, but it makes it a lot controllable when you end up like basically maneuvering slower. Like with not much haste, and I just realized that my missiles were gone. So I decided to jump out and get some new ones for engaging, just to kind of show off the missile capability. So get the lock going again, and fire, and boom, knocked him out, knocked two out actually, with that one. Come up on him, blow his wing off. You can see him falling from the sky there. Yeah, I clipped his wing with like a few rounds there, so he ended up getting blown to buggery. Like, as you can see, this one's a lot better, and although the compressibility and the fact that the wings don't generate much lift under slow speed can make pulling out of stuff like that difficult, and you might end up like bellying in. Basically, you're pulling as hard as you can, but the plane just goes down. Very difficult. Now I'm getting shot at by some stuff. There's some more Rados. I believe I've got one missile left. Fire that one. That one goes to shit, so that's kind of a bad thing. Pull in on these guys here. But then compressibility takes its toll. I'm not able to turn it as tightly as these much slower moving targets, so makes it very difficult. So I try to lead, kind of end up going all over the place. Pull back in, and slowly pull in. Try to go after this one, but it doesn't work as well. Pop him good though, and blows wing off again. Tried to go for two here. Trying to go for two. Pull it up a bit closer. He starts pulling away though. So I just start firing, and we've already failed. So that's the end of the battle, pretty much. I'll just leave this rolling till the end. Then I'll do my end credit thing, but for now, basically, a summary. So MiG-19 is armed with 2 cannons, high velocity, more rounds than the MiG-21, same 2 missiles. MiG-21 is armed with 1 cannon, 60 rounds, and same missiles. They all are 35s. Decent missiles, not the best, not AIM-9Es. Excuse me, but very good overall. And yeah, I mean, my opinion, I'd rather be flying a MiG-21 over the MiG-19 just for speed. A lot of people swear by the MiG-19 though, but I don't. I never have really cared for it. I'd rather fly a MiG-17 or a MiG-21 over the MiG-19. Although the radar is a lot better on the MiG-19, so if you're infiltrating or something, having that radar to spot anything up ahead or sim battle is always nice. But then again, as I said, I'd rather have higher speed and a harder hitting gun. So that's just my opinion. You can like it or dislike it. You can slap the subscribe button or notification if you did like it. And that's me getting taken out by anti-aircraft. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. It's just a comparison. I mean, Scottish Koala did one. I'll link his channel down below. But I mean, he didn't really talk throughout it. It was MiG-19 versus MiG-21. Don't know how long ago he made it, but yeah. So I'll link his thing. So if you like this, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next time. Red Barons, over and out.